Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different again. My last video was also different. Today's video is also going to be different but very interesting. It's not going to be informative, it's going to be really interesting because as you can see from the title, I am sharing my experience of A1 German exam. That's right, I'm going to share my experience of A1 German exam which I gave from Goethe Institute. If you like this video, please make sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell icon so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. And now, before further ado, let's jump right into the video. Just to clarify, you might get the fan sound because it's too hot in Mumbai and I can't switch off the fan. If I switch off the fan, I'll start sweating really bad and I don't want that, so I'm keeping my fan switched on, so you might listen or you might hear the noise, so I'm really sorry for this video at least. And yeah, now let's get back to the video. Okay, so before we dive into directly my exam, let's just go a little back and let me give you a little bit of backstory. So my German learning journey started from 8th standard. So basically we had an option of either choosing Sanskrit or German as our third language, and I sat for one lecture. I sat one lecture in both the classes for Sanskrit as well as German, and when I sat in Sanskrit I was like, I am giving this exam. I will not be able to do Sanskrit because we already had Marathi and Hindi in our school, so I didn't wanted to go into that thing again. So I was like, no, maybe I'll go with German. So I sat in German class and I was like, wow, I need to do that. So that's how actually I started my German journey. It's mainly because I didn't wanted to do Sanskrit, so I went with German. Now, my A1 exam was scary, but at the same time it was one of the most amazing experience. It was mostly 90% of the time scary because I was just in 10th standard when I gave my A1 exam. That's right, I was just 15 years of age. My German teacher was pretty confident about me that I would be able to give A1 exam directly. So why am I saying this is because if you're someone who is below 16 years of age, you have the option of giving Fit in Deutsch 1 and Fit in Deutsch 2. But she was like, you know what, you can give A1 exam directly. So instead of going for Fit in Deutsch 1 and 2, I gave A1 exam. It was scary. I was not prepared at all. I feel like I wasn't, even though I was technically, but this was my first international exam, and I had never given any Joren exam. I had never given any Lesen exam. Basically, I had given written and oral exam because it was in my school as well. So it was very scary. Now, if any of you don't know, I live in Mumbai, so I went with Mumbai branch. I gave my exam in Mumbai branch, and I was not alone. Even my friend Pooja was giving exam with me. We were in same school, we were in same class, we were in same division, everything was same. The registration process back then was, I think, part online and part offline. Now, why I'm saying offline is because they used to provide you a form in a PDF format, and you had to download that form, take a printout, fill all the details, stick a photo, and then scan that paper and upload it again while registration. So it was kind of basically part online, part offline. You had to send the fees offline instead of online. Now, the registration time given for us was, I think, 9 to 4 or 10 to 4. I think it was more of 10 to 4. So we had 6 hours in our hand to register. But because I was giving in Mumbai branch, what happens is, even though the registration starts from 9 and ends at 4 o'clock, all the seats get booked till 9:05. So you basically have 2 to 5 minutes in your hand to book your seat. Everything was messy at that time. We all were very tense because it was our first registration, but everything fell into place and I got the confirmation that I have successfully booked my seat and I can give the German exam on that specific day. Even Pooja got in, so we were both allotted the same day and same time. So my mom was there with me, her mom was there with her. We packed our bags. We went overboard when we were packing. We had a lot of snacks, we had all the books we used for preparing for A1 exam. I had packed everything as if I was going to read everything on that same day. But yeah, I just went overboard, mainly because the exam was going to start at 8 or 8:30, but there was no finishing time. So it depends upon your seat number and when your Sprechen exam will end. So I had packed everything, all the documents, all the snacks, all the books, everything was packed. We were scared even to enter into that institute. We went to the receptionist. She checked our documents. So if you're someone who is going to give your A1 exam for the very first time, my suggestion would be take all the documents, not only the documents that they have mentioned, but also all the documents, extra documents you have, because you never know what you would need. So take all the documents, pack in your bag and then leave your house. So because we had all the documents, we were all clear. There was one student who was not able to sit for A1 exam. He was unknown. I didn't know him, but he wasn't able to sit in the exam, even though he had packed all the documents that were mentioned on the website. Still there was some problem, and so he had to come up with another document which he wasn't able to in that given period of time. So he wasn't able to sit for the exam. After she checked all our documents, she told us to go to Berlin. So me and Pooja were like, what, Berlin? We have to go to Berlin? So we were like, what? I didn't know we had to book our flights and we had exam in Berlin. So I was a little bit confused, but then she said it's the room Berlin. So basically they have their rooms named as per the cities of Germany. So I was like, okay. So we entered the room, and the moment me and Pooja entered the room, we were in shock. We were shocked, scared. Our anxiety level went super duper high, and I just looked at Pooja and I was like, there is no way we are passing this exam, because everyone, literally everyone, was either like of age 25, 30, 35, 40. Like basically no one was of our age. Everyone looked matured, they were dressed matured. They, like, if you would have looked at them, it would be like they know why they are here. Like they know that they are going to pass with good marks and they are well prepared. And whereas me and Pooja were like little 10 standard student, that scared me more. We sat there for some time, and then we were told to leave our bags and all the stationeries we have brought, everything basically, even your watch. If you have the smartwatch, you have to leave it in that particular room, and then you have to go to another room. So we went to another room, and the moment we entered the room, we saw tables, big tables all over the room, with 2 chairs on each side of the table facing each other, and there was a huge board between the tables. So basically this guy cannot see what this guy is doing because there was a board in between. So we were given our urine laser exam papers. She told us what we can do and cannot do on our paper, how to cross out correctly, all the details which are required, which they tell you before you start your exam. So the urine exam started and I started to panic. My heart was beating so fast. So all I did was just keep underlining. You were allowed to underline any important word you want to. So I just started underlining everything so that when that word comes in the audio, I know what I'm doing. So I started underlining all the important words. I read everything as fast as I could, and after the 2 or 3 sentences in the audio, I was a little bit relaxed. Like things I was understanding what the audio was about. I was able to recognize different words and phrases. So I was like, okay, I am in a good position. So basically, if you're someone who is giving your A1 exam for the first time, who is going to appear in the near future, yes, you will be panicked at first because this is your very first exam, and it's totally fine to be panicked. All you have to do is just sit there, trust yourself, believe yourself. You have done everything you could, and now you just have to give exam based on your instincts and based on the audio. So everything went good. My European exam was super great. My Laysan exam was super easy. I was pretty chill for my Schreiben exam because I was always good in my Schreiben and Sprechen exam, and I always knew that. So I was okay with my Schreiben and Sprechen exam. The supervisor came into the room, and again we were told that no stationaries are allowed and nothing you must carry. You should just come alone. No stationaries, no books, nothing. We went into the room again, and the paper was already there on the table. I sat down, I looked down, and I froze. I literally froze because there was one paper and there was one pen. Now, I had a habit of first writing the letter. You have letters in your A1 exam. So I had a habit of first writing with pencil and then check everything if it is grammatically correct, all the words are correct, punctuations are correct. And after all of that, I rewrite it with pen, and then I, erase everything which is written in pencil. So that was my habit. And there was just pen, there was no pencil, there was no eraser, and I froze. So again, I had to believe in myself, I had to trust my instincts. So I started writing the letter. I decided that I would give maximum time to letter and minimum time to tile 1, which was form filling. So I gave maximum time for letter writing, and I started forming all the sentences in my mind, checked everything if it is grammatically correct in my mind, and then I started writing. Because if there are a lot of cuttings, you might lose marks as well. So I was trying to avoid any cutting as possible, and I wanted my paper to be neat and clean and within the given space. So yeah, I fulfilled everything. Actually, the paper was good. My sentences were correct as per me at that time, and I was happy. I used the whole time. The supervisor collected our papers. I was happy. Again, we were given a break of 15-20 minutes before our Sprechen exam. Sprechen exam. During the break, the supervisor came into our room, and she gave us the paper wherein you were allotted in groups. So for your Sprechen exam, you will be allotted in a group of 3 to 4 people, and mine and Pooja's were not very far. We were like up and down only. So we were like, okay, happy, we'll finish together very fast. And we weren't in same group, but we were like very close. So we were like, okay, fine, we'll finish off very early and we'll go back to home together. But that didn't happen, because it was basically like she was taking few numbers from the starting, and then she was taking few numbers from the end. Again, she was taking few numbers from the middle. So it was going very random, and because it was random, again we started panicking, because you never know when your turn will be, when your oral will be. Yeah, and because I was very small and young, I didn't actually I didn't start any conversation, any of the student in my group, because everyone was older than me. So I was shy. Finally, the room was opened, the doors were opened, and the teacher came out, the supervisor came out, and she called our group number. So we got up, went into the room, and the moment I entered the room, again I froze, because I saw a guy. He didn't look like he was Indian basically. So I was like, this is a shock. So I went there, I sat. So basically when you enter, the room is empty. The room will be empty. You will have one table. Behind the table will be two teachers or the examiners who will take your exam, and there will be four seats, four chairs wherein you have to sit. So I was like, okay, let's sit. We greeted them, and she told us how the exam is going to be, and what is our tile 1. So she gave the paper of tile 1. I'll put up on the screen. She gave us this paper. Then both of them gave an example of, regarding how you should introduce yourself in German. So when he started talking, I was like, oh, he's not Indian, he's from Germany, and his accent was to die for. His accent was so good, his voice was so good, he looked so good, everything was so good, and it was so much distracting the whole time. And then it was my turn. So I was the first in the group to start the introduction. So I gave the introduction. I didn't fumble at all, which is so good. I didn't fumble at all. I gave my introduction smooth. It was good. It was good. I was happy. And even both were impressed. Both the examiners were impressed. Even the people sitting with me were impressed. So she asked me a few questions. I think she asked me my phone number and my mom's birth date. I think these were the two questions asked to me. I don't remember right now, but I think these two were the questions. My tile 1 was over. And then when they started introducing, they started fumbling. So I was like, okay, so you don't have to worry. Everyone is new here. Everyone is preparing as per they can. And just because they are, older, it doesn't really mean that they exactly know what they are going to speak. It's okay. Like even you can, even if you fumble, that's fine, because I was getting really scared that what if I fumble. After all this, it was tile 2. For tile 2, I think I got one question of vacation and one question of school, related to school. And for my tile 3, I think I don't remember what I got for tile 3, but to be honest, I gave everything quite correctly. Yes, I took time, as I say in all the other videos of mine, that I took 30 seconds to first frame the question in my mind, checked if it is grammatically correct, and then I spoke, and then I asked the person in front of me. So I always say it's okay if you take 30 seconds. You're allowed to take 30 seconds. So please take that time to frame the question grammatically correct and then ask. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is not something that happened to me, but it is something that happened with one of my friend, not Pooja, just one of my friend who gave A1 exam as well. So what happened with her was her partner was not able to frame any question or sentence in German. So because he wasn't able to ask her any question, she wasn't able to give answer. So at that point, her exam was with the examiner. So she was asking question to examiner. The examiner was going to give the answer. Then the examiner was going to ask the question to her, and she was going to answer. So just like you do the exam with your partner, the same thing happened with her and the examiner. So if such thing happens with you, don't worry, you're not going to lose marks just because the person in front of you cannot frame any question or sentence. Your exam will directly happen with the examiner. And trust me, when the exam happens with the examiner, it's the easiest exam. It's always the easiest exam, because the examiner asks you very simple questions, and because the situation changes a lot, the examiner is quite lenient while giving marks. This is what I feel. So this was my experience of my A1 German exam. Let me know if this made you feel a little bit more prepared, a little bit more comfortable for giving A1 exam. And if you like such videos, please let me know by commenting something that you liked it or you want more such videos, because I would gladly share my experience regarding A2 exam, B1 exam, and in future B2 exam as well. So please let me know, and I'll meet you in the next video. Cheers.